Welcome back, Benchwarmers. Football is around the corner, and I'm so dang excited.
Preseason is underway, and while the first real game isn't until September 4th, we thought we'd start talking about it.
Yeah, I literally couldn't wait any longer to get back into the pigskin. So we're going to have like a little mini-series here where we predict how each division will unfold.
Let's get to it. I'm Corey, go Pack Go.
I'm Brendan, biting kneecaps, and this is RB from the Bench. Before we get started, if not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss any one of the new episodes.
Also, if you could please do us the favor, if you like what you see here, please don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash it for us. Come on. It's free. It's free for you. It's free for us. Helps out the channel a lot more than you probably think.
Hell yeah.
All right, man.
Oh,
Back
man.
to the North. Another tough division. I do think that the Norths, if that's a thing, have the best divisions here in football. And I don't see... It's going to be tough for pretty much everyone involved, even if there are good teams, besides the Browns. No offense to the Browns.
Yeah, well, okay. Besides the Browns, let's
Yeah.
in a different category.
But here we are. We're talking about the NFC North in this one. We just finished the AFC North, so make sure you go check that one out as well. We've already done the East and the South for both of the conferences. West Coast is next. Best Coast for last, of course. But if you are new and this is the first one that you're watching, basically what we're doing here is running through the divisions, trying to predict exactly the order that the teams are going to be in as the season kind of finishes out. So I believe you start AFC, I start NFC. Basically, we do 4-4, 3-3-2-1, kind of move ourselves up to the ranks. For those who watch, you'll know who will have it won by the time we get to 2. But for those who don't, stay tuned. So,
all right, so
let's
who
start.
are you starting with at the bottom?
Well, the bottom is kind of where I think they were last year. I am still running with the Bears. I really do want to believe in the Bears. I have a lot of Caleb Williams rookie cards that could be valuable if he does a lot better than he did last year. But I just don't know if it's yet. That's what I'm going with. I do think that Ben Johnson is going to do well here, but I just don't know if it comes down to, if it happens now. I think this really comes down to Caleb Williams and his ability to change from year 1 to year 2, and whether or not that's something that he'll be able to do is what I just don't know, because it's not Ben Johnson out there on the field, obviously. So I'm just not sure if he can run the Ben Johnson system, because I don't know if he's really the Ben Johnson type of quarterback from what he's seen success with. I mean that because Jared Goff is quite the opposite player of what Caleb Williams has shown us, at least at USC. He's the off-script Patrick Mahomes-esque, right? Oh, run over here, just dash it over this way, throw it across field. That's not necessarily how Ben Johnson runs his offense. Now, I'm not saying that couldn't be useful in a Ben Johnson offense, but you have to start in the pocket, which is where really most quarterbacks find success. I mean, we've seen that. Tom Brady, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Joe Montana, they're all pocket quarterback. Okay, Joe Montana ran. No, Steve Young ran a little bit, but a lot of the best ones are sitting in the pocket and delivering the ball where they need to be. And honestly, even Mahomes at his best is sitting in the pocket delivering where it needs to be, whether that's Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce or whoever the heck else he decides to throw it to. A lot of it revolves around the pocket, so I just don't know if he's ready to deliver it accurately and on time. Now, again, he could completely prove me wrong. I'm just trying to predict on what I've seen so far. So he has the weapons, obviously, but in my opinion, I think he had him last year. He's got the same running back. He lost Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen was good last year. Not as good as he was with LA. I was going to say San Diego. That was
I
close.
know we all did it. I thought San Diego as you were saying it.
So I do think that they will improve. I do think that he will improve. But this division is really, really tough, as we kind of mentioned at the beginning. So even an 8 or 9 or 9-8 season could land you in 4th place. There was 3 double-digit win teams last year in this same division. So I do have them in 4th. But you seem surprised when I said that. I'm guessing you don't.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. Maybe not super surprised. I guess, like you said, they were in 4th last year. But when it comes to last place for me, shocking the world here. Nobody's going to like me, especially in the state of Michigan. I have the Lions coming in 4th in this division. Now,
yeah, you're freaking crazy.
I know they've won it the last 2. They went to the NFC title game 2 seasons ago, but they lost their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, who's now coaching the Jets. They lost their offensive coordinator, who you mentioned, Ben Johnson, now coaching the Bears. So now it's a real test of how good of a coach is Dan Campbell, or was it just he had a really good coaching staff below him in order to make this team go? You mentioned Johnson turning Goff into like an all-pro quarterback. I mean, when they traded Goff from L.A. to Detroit, I think L.A. thought, we did everything we can. There's nothing left in this guy. Like, he is who he is. But Ben Johnson was able
to a Super Bowl. But
yeah, he did. Yes, but it's not like the offense showed up in the Super Bowl.
They scored 3 points, Corey. Okay.
Oh,
you're right. It's the Patriots, though. Come on, that's Bill Belichick's defense. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
But no, you're good. I think the Lions have had their window. It's kind of closed now. The offense still has Amon-Ra St. Brown and a couple other weapons as Gibbs and
Sam
stuff like
Laporta.
that. So I get and Sam Laporta. So they're going to score. I get that. I just think the defense is going to take a big step back without Glenn. I know Aiden Hutchinson's coming back, but we don't know exactly what to expect out of him. I just think, again, the window was open, and now it's very, very, very close to closed. And I think Detroit kind of reverts back to not 4 wins. Again, they could win 8 games and still not make the playoffs. I just think they had their run, they had their chance, and now it's everyone else in the division has caught up and figured you out and able to slow you down. On top of losing the coordinators that made your team good for the last couple of years, I think it's just all bad for Detroit vibes, and I think they're going to end up in last in the division.
Well, I think the vibes are bad because you're putting bad vibes out there. If you watch any of the other shows that we've been kind of leading up to this, not necessarily division predictions, but just when we're talking about football, Corey's been down on the Lions since basically the offseason. So I saw this one coming. I don't know if I saw last place coming, to be honest with you, but I definitely saw you picking them to take a step back. But that's tough, bro. I mean, I'll get to the Lions later, and it's not next because I don't have them coming in 4th or 3rd, but I'll kind of touch on some of the things that you brought up with a little bit of my own points. We'll see. I'm not going to change your mind per se, but we'll see how it obviously plays out as the season kind of goes along. So,
all right. So now we got 2 different 4th place teams. So who do you have in 3rd?
I think we might have 2 different 3rd place teams, but maybe not. I know we have different teams going up. I've got the Vikings actually coming in 3rd, and this isn't really a knock on them. I just really think this division is a lot better than than any other of the main divisions in football, especially in the NFC.
Yeah.
There's always one team that's like, how about that team? So the South almost its entirety, the Cowboys and the Giants combined. I'm sorry, Mike. Mike from work had a problem with my NFC East predictions. Shout out to you. I know we're gonna kind of put some money on it so I can put my money where my mouth is, and we'll see who's right when we get there. But yeah, so not necessarily as bad as that, but I think the Vikings come in 3rd. I think this is tough, but kind of in Kevin O'Connell I trust as far as them not coming in last place. If the only thing moving forward that changes from last year is Sam Darnold, who everyone thought was not good, to JJ McCarthy, who O'Connell believed in and let both Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold walk because he believes in him so much. I think that they're just going to be fighting for the division. Again, I do think they fall short of the other 2 teams, but I think they're going to be there the entire way. The offense has the weaponry. Obviously, it's pretty scary, to be honest, who JJ McCarthy gets to throw to, whether it's Jay Jets, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and then Aaron Jones in the backfield as a workhorse. Just ask Green Bay. But that's kind of where I'm at. I do think though that the defense is okay. They're average. They were 2nd against the run, so against running teams they're pretty good. And really, when football comes down to it, if you can win the run, you have a good chance at making the quarterback pass. And while they weren't great in yards and stuff like that, I think they were middle of the pack as far as yards given up. That's because they forced teams to do it. However, they led the league last year in interceptions with 24. 2nd was 19. They had 5 more interceptions than any other team. So basically what I'm saying is they're at least solid. So I think it's going to be a tight division race. I think they may take a small step back, just not to last place. I think the Bears are still learning some stuff. So I have the Vikings coming in 3rd.
Okay. And
where you at?
I'm on the same page with you as this one. I think the Vikings, again, JJ McCarthy is essentially a rookie quarterback because he injured and didn't play at all last year. But I'm with you on the Kevin O'Connell. It seems like Zach Taylor, O'Connell, all these coaches, LaFleur, all these coaches that have left McVay have gone on to have decent quarterbacks and then able to maybe elevate some other quarterbacks, like you mentioned, Sam Darnold last year who left. So
Darnold, jeez.
Yeah, and Goff as well too. Same. So I don't know. I just feel like they're going to take a step back. They're not going to win. What is it, 14 last year? I think as a wild card team. Like that's just crazy. So
insane.
I'm with you.
On
the
defense
road, is solid. Yeah, defense is solid. Offense is good. It's just a matter of how good is JJ McCarthy. Can he repeat what Sam Darnold did last year? Having less experience, obviously, than Darnold, it's a little more in question. So I still think they're going to be, again, if they're going to get in 3rd and I have the Lions in 4th, I still have them winning 8 or 9 games. I don't have them really a terrible team. I just think they're going to end up a little short compared to the other 2 teams, especially Go Pack Go.
The only thing that I would say to that, as far as I'm with you, because it's completely 2 different things. In fact, I knocked the defensive coordinator for the Bengals because of this. He has a lot of experience in college. I think he played all 4 years, and not only that, he had winning football. He obviously won the national championship as the starting quarterback, beat Alabama in the Rose Bowl to get to the title game. So he's had to play tough people. He's had to play in tough places. He's had to play Now, granted, I'm not saying Michigan is not a football school, but until Harbaugh got there, they were in the dumpster for a while. So
Yeah.
he was part of the reason why they came back. So that's why I'm kind of like, yeah. I mean, I think he'll be good, but to your point, his rookie season, I don't know how good yet. Not ready to kind of throw him up into the big dog leagues like how we've got up at first and second place.
Yeah, and you talked about how like he had a great career in Michigan. In Michigan, the reason he had a great career is they ran the ball with Blake
True,
Corum, I believe, at the time, and then he
a
was able to
backup.
pass from there. So I know that the percentage of plays was more run than pass, but again, in the NFL, especially late in the season, and if you're the Vikings, you're going to Chicago in the winter, you're going to Green Bay, you're gonna
He
have
played
to
in
be able to.
Michigan. It's cold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you're gonna have to be
Oh,
able to
okay.
run the ball as a team, and they have Aaron Jones and he has
Hmm.
Addison, so he has weapons there. So if they can
Yeah,
run the ball and open up the play action and all the other stuff, then McCarthy will be fine as long as he doesn't turn the ball over. Again, it just comes down to experience and him learning
agree.
as the season goes on. So
Yeah, agree. All right. So we're both on the same as third. Obviously, we're different because you already have the Bears still in it, and I've got the Bears off the board already. I think
okay.
this is where we might differ in second place. And this
Who
is
do
where
you
I
got?
kind of have this is where I have Detroit. I
Okay.
don't see how you see how they're going to be in fourth place. I think you're going for clicks, to be honest with you. But
Hey,
uh,
follow RV from the bench.
right,
RVFTB. Come on, click at me. Go at me.
but this team has most of the team that they had. They obviously did lose those in charge, obviously on each side of the ball, and Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, which is big. Obviously,
Mhm.
coordinators are an important thing, unless you ask Jalen Hurts because he's had a different one every single year, and they've won a Super Bowl last year. So
True.
it's not necessarily the end all be all, while super super important. It's I think Ben Johnson more than Aaron Glenn. No offense to the defense, is probably going to be the biggest loss. But the new offensive coordinator spent time with him a couple years ago as a quarterbacks coach, and then was also able to learn from Sean Payton the past 2 years. People say he's a insane offensive guru, helped Drew
Yeah.
Brees and the Saints win a Super Bowl. So he spent the
Yes.
last 2 seasons in Denver. So hopefully that he can bring some of that same continuity, that same idea that Ben Johnson has with his own like little twist and a little bit of maybe influence from Sean Payton. The other part that I talked
And
about, and I do think that the defense. Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
no, I was going to say, and it being a quarterback, young quarterback, learning a new system at the same time, like it kind of gives them an opportunity to grow together. So McCarthy's going to learn as this
Oh, we're talking about
offensive
the
coordinator.
Lions. We're talking about the
Well, yeah, but
Lions.
I'm just in general, like they're going to grow together. That's the whole point. Is the
Got
coordinator's
you.
new, the coach is new, like it's all new, so everybody gets to kind of learn together from the flow instead of having to a new the coordinator's there, but the coach, the players new, like everybody's new, so it's all from scratch.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jared Goff's not that new, but that's what I'm trying to
Oh,
say.
that's true. I guess.
We're talking about, yeah. But either way, I think Jared Goff is moldable. He's been able to work with Sean McVay. He's been able to work with Ben Johnson. And this is kind of somebody, if you take the tree and you say, well, he could have worked with Ben Johnson. So he's from the
Yeah,
Ben Johnson. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. The one thing that I do think that they'll
a lot
be
of questions.
okay with, yeah, agree. The one thing I do think they'll be okay with actually is their defense. As much as defensive is very important, you need a good coordinator to have it. It's not the most important part of football anymore because of the way that the game is played and refed, I guess, refed. I guess if that's a word.
Refereed? I don't know.
Refereed. Thank
Yeah.
you. Maybe that's a little bit better one. I
We're
think
making up
that
words here. That's what we do.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that it's more lenient towards the offense than it is the defense. The defense is just going to try their best. But the one thing that they hopefully won't have is 20 defensive players hurt over the course of the season, which is
Yeah,
exactly
true.
what they had last year. Namely, obviously the one that you mentioned, their star in Aiden Hutchinson. Now, coming back from injury for anybody is rough, but this dude's a star for
Yeah.
sure, and he can disrupt that line like nobody's business. So I just think that it was mostly their players that they didn't have. When you say 20, they only start 11.
Yeah.
So when you're missing 20, you're missing the second string too. You know what I mean? So you're playing with guys who were trying to make it from the practice squad, trying to defend professional athletes. And I'm not knocking them; they're professionals too. I'm just saying you're missing your first and second string. It's going to be tough regardless. So
Yeah,
I think the
absolutely.
Tem I think Dan Campbell's going to have the team ready to bite kneecaps off. I just don't think it's their time quite yet to be over. They're going to be fighting the whole way. The division could honestly come down to something like tiebreakers, like it did last year.
True.
But I just don't see them kind of breaking through. I do see them taking a step back, like you do, because of the loss of the coordinators. I just don't think it's all the way to fourth place, is all.
Hey, we watch teams every year go from fourth to first. Why not first to fourth? It can happen. It's
You're not wrong.
possible.
You're not wrong. We'll see how it plays out for sure. For sure. So I think this is where we switch because we might have the first place team the same. Who do you have coming in second then?
Yep. Yeah, I'm here with the Bears going in second here. I think that I don't know. I just feel something about Ben Johnson and Caleb. I know there's all the video and he hasn't been great in camp, but like how much of that is real or how much is that them putting that story out there themselves so people are underestimating them? I don't know. But for some reason, I have a good vibe about Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams going in there and getting this offense figured out. I've even certain a couple of like betting people say that they're putting money on Caleb to get over 4,000 passing yards, which would be the first Bears quarterback to ever do it. I think
He was
that
pretty
might be
close last year.
I know. I think that might be a little much to expect from him, but I would not be super mad again against it happening. Obviously, I'm picking them to get to second. I don't know. I feel like Caleb figured a few, maybe not figured it all out. Obviously, nobody's got it all figured out in the league, but figured a few things out last year. Maybe was humbled a little bit. Maybe this year comes into it with a little different mindset. I'm hoping at least because, like you said, there's a lot of like just all the things he did in SC and winning the Heisman. You're like, there's so much capability and
Yeah,
opportunity for him to be
agree.
great. I need to see it. And the biggest thing is he needs to let go of the ball. They've brought in better offensive linemen and built hopefully to protect him and give him some time to
Yep.
get rid of the ball. But he also still needs to get rid of the ball, like throw the ball. There's just too much time where he, like you said, he tries to be Patrick Mahomes. And if the play is dead, he tries to make something out of nothing. Sometimes just throw it out and live to play the next down. Or if it's third down, give it away and punt them and win the field battle position at that
Right.
point. Like just
Yeah.
don't try to do too much. Stay within the confines of what you're able to do and what Ben Johnson wants you to do. I think the Bears can
Exactly.
take a big step forward from last year to this year.
Yeah, it's not college. To your point, you can't
Yeah.
just keep winning on these crazy plays, and because you're not playing, Washington State.
Yeah.
You're playing the Packers.
You're
So
not playing
let's
18 to 22-year-old boys. You're playing 25 to 30-year-old men getting paid millions of dollars and have families to take care of. So you got to bring it and can't half-ass it.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, that basically means that we have the same first place team, which Sam, shout out to Sam. I know she's going to be excited to hear this. The Packers. I'll start. So, Packers, Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love. I really think they started to click last year. There's a reason why they didn't care about what Aaron Rodgers thought, and they drafted this kid for some reason. I think the main thing was that I know it was at the beginning of the season, but the injury that he had is kind of really what kind of derailed it a little bit. They still had a pretty good season, but if they had the whole season together, I think they would have had a little bit better. Even it was your quarterback. Who was the Tennessee?
Malik Willis.
Yes, Malik Willis. He went like 2-2 or something like that while he was out. That ain't bad, but that could have been 3-1 or 4-0 if you really had, Jordan Love, your starter, in there. So the defense is always kind of middle of the pack. They actually led the league in turnovers as a whole, not necessarily interceptions that belong to the Vikings, but a combination of fumbles and interceptions. They did struggle on fourth down, but that's kind of a down that doesn't really come up that much if you really think about it. And if you're playing really good and they're long third downs and you can kind of stop them from there, I feel like that's something you can improve on a fourth down defense. That's quite specific. It's not like we were bad against the run. Like, well, damn, that's a lot to improve. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, fourth down doesn't happen as often, or at least defensively. Right. So you can work on that and prepare a little bit.
Agree. So I think the big thing to me is the addition of Matthew Golden. They finally decided to use a first round pick on a wide receiver because I think they really had like a plethora of wide receivers with I was going to start naming some, but Jaden Reed and Christian Watson. Is that one of them?
Yeah, Watson. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people would kind of consider them like 2s or 3s. And now that they have Matthew Golden, who I think a lot of people will consider a number 1, they can kind of return to their 2 or 3 spot, and I think that's where they truly kind of fit. Josh Jacobs last year was a powerhouse after leaving a terrible team in, I almost said Oakland, in Vegas for a team that actually wins. He was actually excited to get out there every week and not just like, let me run for 100 yards and lose by 10. That sounds terrible. You know what I mean? So he was able to kind of get that. I think they just seem to play smarter than most teams. I think Matt LaFleur is a really, really good coach. And I think that because of like what we both, well, you think a little bit too much, but like what I mentioned with the Lions taking a little bit of a step back because of the loss of their coordinators, and the Bears and the Vikings with both basically rookie quarterbacks. I understand Caleb played last year, but completely new system. So it's almost like he's a rookie. This is their opportunity that the Packers need to take advantage of, and I think they are able to kind of do it. They've been kind of teetering around second and third place in the division for a while, and I think it's time for them to kind of spring forward.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. I'm with you. I think they improved from last year. They bring in Golden, Aaron Rodgers is probably pissed, but who cares? He's not here anymore, so they don't care that they finally got a wide receiver in the first round for a quarterback.
Hey, he got Devontae.
Yeah, that's true. I'm with you, though. I think last year, if Jordan Love doesn't get injured early, the Packers have a completely different season or outcome. They could end up winning the division and hosting a game instead of having to go on the road. I think Love.
They were close in that game, too.
Yeah, they were. Love and LaFleur.
As the Super Bowl champions. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. Love and LaFleur have continued to build something great there. I think they just have a nice vibe. They get each other. They are on the same page. They don't seem to have a lot of, inconsistencies on the offensive side of the ball. As you mentioned, the defense great last year. Brent essentially bringing back the same team. They didn't lose a lot of pieces. Green Bay is just one of those teams. It's like the Spurs of the NFL. They're in the small market. They run everything
Great
the right way.
comparison.
They do everything in house. They draft well. They develop well. When guys are ready to leave and they don't want to pay them, they just let them go and they replace them. I mean, they've gone from Favre to Rodgers to Love. I don't know what other team could say they've had 3 straight, franchise quarterbacks that actually worked out like that. So
none that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that they're going to be so good this year that they might run away with this division as good as the division is as a whole. I think by week 15 they clinch and they might not be playing anybody the last couple of weeks and hopefully, getting healthy, if not healthier than they already are and preparing for a playoff run.
I guess we shall see, but I guess I wore green for a reason. I do think it'll be a good fight. This division is definitely one of the toughest in football. Yeah. So, but let us know who you've got claiming the NFC North. Let us know in the comments down below.
Or hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at RVUFTB and tell me why you agree the Packers are going to win the division and maybe make a run. We'll see.
And tell Corey why he's wrong about the Lions in last. My God,
bring it on,
man.
Detroit. I don't care. At me, I don't care. Aggregate.
He's wrong. Boo, boo.
Good thing I've already been to Michigan to go to the Tigers game at the stadium. I don't have to go back, so nobody's going to find me.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you all for joining RV from the bench and seeing things from that. I'm Brendan.
I'm Corey. Like we always say, enjoy the sports until we talk again.
Peace.
This was a Sycamore Fourth Studios production.